So just a quick update to this $100,000 challenge that I answered recently. Flat Out Hero is claiming that I did not answer his challenge because my ForeFlight app does not meet his definition of a chart. Now, as we know, in the English language, a single word can have several meanings, and here is a perfect example. Crane. A crane can be a large machine that moves heavy things by lifting them in the air. That is a crane. But it can also be a kind of large bird with a long neck and long legs. So that is also a crane, spelt exactly the same way. So to understand the correct definition that we should use, we need to look at the context of the conversation. If we are talking about birds and we discuss a crane, then clearly we are talking about the bird crane. If we are having a conversation in relation to building a skyscraper, then clearly we are talking about that type of crane. And the same thing applies to this contest. When we look at the definition of the word chart, we need to consider something that relates to navigation, and specifically navigation in the air. And if we have a look at the definition of chart, it can mean a drawing that shows information in a simple way, often using lines and curves to show amounts. It can also mean a detailed map of an area of water. If we look at it in the Oxford Dictionary, a chart, a sheet of information in the form of a table, graph or diagram, and the definition down here, a geographical map or plan, especially one used for navigation by sea or air. So as we can see, similar to the word crane, it can have multiple meanings, and you must select the appropriate meaning in relation to the context of the conversation. So when we are talking about pilots navigating with maps, we need to select the correct definition of the word chart. And in this case, a geographical map or plan, especially one used by navigation, for navigation by sea or air, is the correct definition. Our friend Flat Out Hero is hiding behind a different definition, and that is incorrect because my ForeFlight app is absolutely 100% a chart because it is a geographical map or plan, especially one used for navigation by sea or air. Let's take another look at it. So this is my ForeFlight app once again, and I've just spent a few minutes putting in the route for my flight tomorrow evening from Sri Lanka into France. As you can see, there are a number of waypoints and airways, and that relates to the specific route that we will be flying. From Sri Lanka, we head up to the north of Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Then we duck across. You can see there's a bit of a dog leg there as they hold us south to stay away from Syria and Turkey. And then we duck up across the Mediterranean through the top of Italy and into France. So this is absolutely used for navigation by pilots. You can see in the top left hand corner, it is the Aeronautical Chart. I can select different options. I could select a street chart, I could select an aerial map, but I'm using the aeronautical map because that gives me specific information. If you zoom right in, you can see it depicts the airspace, the airways, and if you zoom further in, it even gives you detailed information on the airport itself. Now, when we're actually flying this route, it has an overlay of our specific position at all times on this route, and it shows data such as distance, estimated time intervals, ground speeds, tracks, and cross-track error. So it is absolutely 100% used for navigation. You can see when we get up into Europe and I start to zoom in, just how busy the airspace is. full of restricted areas, full of different control zone boundaries, and as we zoom into our destination, it shows us the necessary airport information that we require. So it is a map used for navigation by air. Absolutely 100% a chart by the true definition of a chart. So flat out hero, you have no more excuses. You need to pay that $100,000.